Who will Derek Chisora fight for his 50th and final fight? Jarrell Miller, Martin Bakole, Deontay Wilder, or someone else? And let me counterpunch. The someone else, if I could add to that list, it could be Luis Ortiz. Now, I know Luis Ortiz is hungry for a fight. I think he needs the exposure. I think that he's been a guy that's been, held back a long time by his promotional company. I would add him to that list. Derek Chisora, he's known to fill the seats, and if it's one of these guys, just these three really, excluding Luis Ortiz, that would be one hell of a fight because Jarrell Miller has the chin, he has the durability, the stamina, the work rate. That would be a good fight because that fight would last. That would probably be the best opponent for Derek Chisora because remember, that fight's supposed to happen earlier this year anyway, and it didn't. Deontay Wilder, I mean, yes, for the U.S. fan base, for somebody to rally that still follows Wilder like that, that's a big fight for him. I honestly don't think he would take it, though, because, he looks at Derek Chisora like he looks at Dillian White, like not the championship on his level type, which is too and so far from the truth. Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole, I think, would be a very good fight for Derek Chisora. However, I think it's also a dangerous one. You know what I mean? Because, again, you don't know what type of shape Martin Bakole is going to come in there in. But for Derek Chisora, the way he comes at his opponent, that's exactly what Martin Bakole wants because he is that kind of counter-punching guy. He wants you to come in. He has that Andy Ruiz type mentality. He wants to lure you in so he can counter you. And both guys, Andy and Martin, are very good at that, counter-punching. And, the way Derek Chisora comes down and works the body and, you know what I mean, and goes downstairs, that's giving ample opportunity for punches like uppercuts to land in favor of Martin Bakole. So I think, and on top of that, Derek has had a lot to say about Martin Bakole, calling him a fat ass and all that stuff, and saying that, hey, he needs to get into shape. He got one little check and he got comfortable, which all that's true. I'm not saying it's not true, but what I'm saying is there's an incentive for a fight between Martin Bakole and Derek Chisora. I know they got that African brotherly love, but at the same time, it was disrespectful. So it could sell a fight. So I do like the idea of any of these opponents. Now, it is the bitter thing about it is Derek Chisora won't be fighting for a title. You know what I mean? Because if this is his last fight, I hope it is his last fight. You know what I mean? But it depends with Derek. Think about it. Derek claims the 50th and final fight will be his last fight. Well, what if he blows out somebody? What if he goes in there and he knocks out Bakole like Joseph Parker did earlier this year? And that would be a big surprise, right? Because Derek Chisora will then hold that title of a person that's too legit to quit. The power's the last to go anyway, and he still has a lot of it, and he would be marked as an upgrade from where he was 4 or 5 years ago, which was what? A gatekeeper. So, yeah, now he is a guy that, no, bro, you can't quit now because now you're in a position because you've taken out one of the guys that puts you in a closer position for the title or titles or whatever because you don't know. I think it depends on the outcome of the fight. If it's a tough, hard, drug-out fight and he leaves everything in the ring, yeah, he can walk and sail away in the sunset, walk away from the sport. But, if it's something that's quick, fast, and impressive, yeah, people are going to want to see more of Derek Chisora, and Derek Chisora will be forced and pressured or tempted to stay in the sport of boxing. So don't expect the 50th fight for him to be his last one. But you guys tell me what you think about these three opponents, Deontay Wilder, Martin Bakole, Jarrell Miller, for the 50th for Derek Chisora. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys may counterpunch. Peace!